Good afternoon and welcome here to Goodacoons Field here on the campus of Taylor University. I guess good morning, early good afternoon. If you're watching us on the West Coast, it's still good morning. Brunch time out on the West Coast. A noon start time here trying to beat the rain for the second time in the last 4 days. After we had all of our home events moved up a considerable amount of time on Saturday with rain coming in Saturday night. Well, more rain coming in here today. And so we are starting at noon, up 4 hours from the normal start time today. Maddie Evans in the circle for the Trojans. It's Taylor versus Spring Arbor, and the first pitch is in to Jesse Pancho, the lefty third baseman, and we're underway with a called strike one. Evans took the loss yesterday as Taylor got shut out in Game 1, 4-0 to St. Francis. They came back and bounced back with a 5-0 win in Game 2. Second pitch is off speed on the outside half for a called strike two. Spring Arbor was here in the county yesterday. They lost both games to Indiana Wesleyan, the 9th-ranked team in the country. The 0-2, Pancho, slow roller right side. Alexi Clay at second, fields and fires. One up and one down here in the top of the first for the Cougars of Spring Arbor. Following Jesse Pancho will be the center fielder Chloe Geniak, and then the DP Maddie Gillett, Sarah Matlock, Jade Now, the shortstop Maddie Thrush bats 6th, Kelsey Sturgeon the pitcher bats 7th, Abby Laffler bats 8th, and Abby Funk bats 9th. Off speed, and that's 4 straight strikes thrown here by Evans. This one to the switching center fielder Geniak. She bats as a lefty here against the right-handed throwing Evans. Outside corner, Whitman could not bring it back across the outside part of the plate, and it's ball number 1. Geniak, a senior out of Ontario, Canada, went to Villanova High School. Bats .260 here on the season. In the air, towards left field, playing in is Lexia Abruzzo, the left fielder. The ball tails foul, and it is strike number 2. The defense behind Evans today, Lexia Abruzzo in left, Aaliyah Rastetter in center, Caitlin Grims in right. Harley Mason's at third, Emma West is at short, Alexi Clay is at second, Jersey Tannehill at first, and Ashton Whitman, this week's Crossroads League Player of the Week, is behind the plate. Check swing, slow roller up from the third base side to 36th-year head coach Deb Thompson over there coaching third for SAU. The count stays at 1-2. SAU 10-15 on the year, 4-10 in the Crossroads League. They're currently tied with Goshen for the 7th spot in the Crossroads League standings, but just 2 games back of 5th place Grace and St. Francis. Pop up again, left side, out of play it goes with Mason giving chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Evans a 7-5 overall record, a 3.62 ERA. Makes her 14th appearance and her 14th start here this season. This will be pitch number 6 for the left-handed swinging Geniak. Evans comes inside, a one-hopper that she backhands inside the circle. Doesn't need to move her feet as she throws to first. 2 up and 2 down on a couple of ground outs to the right side of the infield and up the middle.
Now to bat, number 27, Maddie Gillett.
So Maddie versus Maddie matchup here as Maddie Gillett steps in for SAU, the right-handed designated player. Evans tries to get that inside corner. That is what did the Trojans in yesterday at the plate in Game 1 against USF. But a much tighter zone here this afternoon on a Tuesday. Second one to Gillett. Low for ball 2. Gillett, the junior out of Howell, Michigan, transferred into SAU from Carson Newman University. She was 2 for 5 in the 2 games yesterday, but enters the day as the best bat for SAU with a .417 average and 10 extra base hits, 9 doubles, and 1 home run. Third pitch from Maddie Evans gets called for strike 1 against Maddie Gillett. Change up, left high, 3-1. Game 1, it was a story of 2 out base runners on free passes, either by walks or by hit by pitch that got USF's offense rolling in Game 1 yesterday. Spring Arbor a ball outside the zone away from duplicating that here. Evans, though, gets a called strike 2 at the knees. Gillett ready to jog down to first. She'll have to come back and wait for the payoff pitch. And here it is from Evans. Hard hit left side, scooped up by Harley Mason at third, on to first and Tannehill, and it's a 3 up, 3 down, top of the first. The Trojans come up to bat next here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Good to see Emma West starting our first game of the day. Had a little bit of an upper body injury yesterday as she slid headfirst into second base on a double in game one. First one here from the righty Kelsey Sturgeon is ball one. Sturgeon, senior right-hander out of Pendleton, Indiana, Pendleton Heights High School, has an ERA of 6.07 and a 1-4 overall record. This is start number 6 for her in appearance number 11. Opposite batter's box from the lefty Weston, it's 2-0. Emma 1 for 3 and 1 for 4 yesterday. Had an RBI single in game number 2. Batting average sits just a tick below 300. Smacks it right back up the middle. A leadoff single for West as she tries to turn things around here in the last month and change of her junior season. Hits like that'll do just that. Leadoff single's got West at first.
Number 32, Maddie Evans.
And now the pitcher, Maddie Evans, steps in and tries to help out her own cause. Evans, a rough day at the plate yesterday against SAU, 0 for 7 in the 2 games. Enters the day batting just .275 here in her senior season. First pitch, though, a ball with the speedy West over at first base. She's 4 for 8 on stolen base tries this year. Was thrown out just 4 times a year ago when she broke the single-season stolen base record. Bunt by Evans up the first base side. Charging is now on to first. Covering is Abby Funk. West, a big round second, has to come back. The sacrifice bunt works to perfection. 3-4 on the putout for those of you scoring at home. We're back in the Taylor Athletic offices. Hi, Wendy. And it's 1 out here at the bottom of the first.
Out to bat, number 11, Ashton Whitman.
So runner in scoring position for the defending Crossroads League Player of the Week, Ashton Whitman. First time she's earned that honor in her 4-year career. Best batter for the Trojans on the season. Takes a called strike 1 on a slow breaking ball from the righty Sturgeon. The defense for SAU here in game 1, Abby Laffler in left, Chloe Geniak in center, Sarah Matlock's in right. We'll set the infield after the 0-1. Almost gets Whitman in the top of the cleats, 1-1. Jesse Pancho patrols things at third. Maddie Thrush is the shortstop. Abby Funk is at second. Jade Now is at first, and Allie Funk is behind the plate. Ashton yesterday, good bounce back game 2. Fly ball to the right center field gap. Geniak and Matlock is there. It's Matlock, the right fielder, that catches. West takes a healthy lead off of second after tagging up, which will stay there, and it's a fly out to right. And quickly 2 outs for the Trojans with West still there at second base.
14, Caitlin Grimm.
2 outs for Caitlin Grimm. Grimm, the 5'3" lefty junior from nearby Yorktown, Indiana. She, like Ashton Whitman, much better at the plate in game 2. Game 1 starts with a single up the middle. Now West gets to show off her wheel. She scores standing up. And Caitlin Grimm with an RBI single right back up the middle. And the Trojans cash in. They lead 1-0.
Stepping in the box, number 10.
RBI
Morgan
number 14 on the year for Caitlin Grimm. And now Morgan Back, who was the DP in Game 2 yesterday, gets the start as the DP here in Game 1 against SAU. First pitch, she goes right back up the middle. Nice pick on the shortstop play by Thrush. She scoops and steps on second base for the force out. But a two-out RBI single from Grimm up the middle gives Taylor a 1-0 lead after 1 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan.
The Trojans, the beneficiaries of a 2-out RBI single by Caitlin Grimm. They lead 1-0 as we get ready to start the second inning of play. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for SAU. Sarah Matlock, Jade Now, and Maddie Thrush. First one high from Evans, 1-0. Matlock 1 for 7 in the 2 games yesterday at Indiana Wesleyan. A much better game 2, went 1 for 4, driving in a couple. Foul tips the second pitch here into the glove of Whitman, and the count evens up at 1-1. It was an interesting day yesterday for Spring Arbor. They lost game 1 at number 9, Iwu 10-2, then came back and tied the game at 3, heading to the bottom of the 7th, before getting walked off in the bottom half of the 7th inning by Indiana Wesleyan. 2 balls and a strike now to Matlock. Hard hit ball to left field. Abruzzo gives chase, and she will make the catch in the left field corner. Looked like it might tail out of here with as much juice coming off the bat of Matlock, but enough room, and actually more room than Abruzzo really needed, but better to have more than less. So there's 1 out, and now here's Jade Now. But that's almost a doubleheader split yesterday for Indiana Wesleyan. Would have been beneficial for the Trojans. After they split the doubleheader with St. Francis, would have kept them a game back of the Wildcats. High bounce from the middle, almost caught West. She fires it to first base. That ball almost bounced away from West. She snagged it behind her left shoulder and then fired a rocket to first to retire now.
Coming up to the plate, number 24, Maddie Thrush.
West, the all-second team Crossroads League selection a year ago, flashing the leather there. A shame that she has not won a Gold Glove here in her 2 seasons at Taylor University. Ball 1 high and in the Thrush. She was poised for what appeared to be a big freshman year, but then the COVID-19 pandemic happened in 2020. There was some graduation of some middle infielders. You'd like to think that West is primed for a Gold Glove nod here in 2022 as a junior. Second one to Maddie Thrush. Her shortstop counterpart is called for a strike. 1-1, lifted into the air, and that one goes foul. A ball and 2 strikes as Evans has much better command here than we saw yesterday from 32 in purple. Went 7 innings, 108 pitches, 5 Ks, and 4 walks. But gave up those 2 two-run home runs that put Taylor on the wrong side of a 4-0 deficit. She gets the looking strikeout here, and that's the second straight 1-2-3 inning for the first team all-league selection, Maddie Evans. 1-0 Taylor after 1.5 on the Trojan Sports Network.
You know what to do?
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics.
1-0 Taylor lead as they bat in the bottom of the second. 6, 7, and 8 coming up for the Trojans, with Jersey Tannehill set to lead it off. Had the stellar catch diving in foul territory yesterday in Game 2 that the Trojans defeated St. Francis 5-0 in. Tries to do some work here with the bat. Had a hit in both games yesterday, going 2 for 5. Has had a really good bounce back after starting the year quietly at the plate. Inside of the lefty, 1-1 from Kelsey Sturgeon. Third one to Tannehill. Hard hit ball to center field. Gignac has a read on it. She makes the catch off of her left shoulder for out number 1.
Coming to the plate, number 16, Aaliyah Rastetter.
I don't know if head coach Erin Bellinger did this on purpose today, but she puts the two roommates back-to-back in the order, and their other roommate, ironically enough, from, as you know it, Salon 421, running the scoreboard today in McKenna Ricker. Rastetter pulls it to the left, and it will go foul. Sadly, the salon was closed this morning. The early start time unable to let the ladies come in and get their hair done at Salon 421. But all hope is not lost, as all three of them are out here spending some time outside the dorm room and the salon here today. Second one to Rastetter makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. Aaliyah 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout and got caught stealing, but early April was the time that she blew up a year ago. Third one to Rastetter. Inside, that hits her on the left bicep, and she'll take a leisurely jog down to first, getting on base the hard way here with 1 out in the second. First time that Rastetter's been hit by a pitch this season. And now here's Alexi Clay. Rastetter poised at first. The first pitch to Alexi Clay. Below the knees on a changeup, 1-0. Opponents batting .310 off of Sturgeon, the pitcher this season. Took the loss in Game 2 yesterday, went 6 innings, 5 hits and 4 runs. Second one, Clay rips it, but it goes foul. Erin Bellinger showing off the fleet feet over there in the third base coach's box. Trojans in the purple uniforms and purple pants today with the white numbers and the white letters. St. Francis with the highlighter yellow jerseys and the dark navy blue pants. Clay sits on one, straightens it out, just not enough as it lands foul up the left field line by about 1.5 balls. Sturgeon keeps working inside here against Clay. That was what hurt the Trojans yesterday. They did not make any adjustments in Game 1 yesterday and just got worked on the inside corner against all-league selection Mackenzie Russ, the starter for USF. To the outside corner, but low. And the count levels up 2-2 on a miss from Sturgeon. Clay was only used in spot duty in her first 3 seasons here at Taylor. Started 21 of the 22 games now of the 22 appearances, batting an even .300. And after a couple of foul balls, she's worked the count full on Sturgeon. Again goes to the opposite corner. Aaliyah Rastetter stands at first with 1 out after getting hit by a pitch in the left bicep. It's 1-0 Taylor here in the bottom of the second. Payoff from Sturgeon. Clay jacks it towards left field. Erin Bellinger thinks it's gone. Did it stay fair? It did stay fair as Clay ropes it around the left field foul pole for her second home run of the season. Her family likes that in center field, and it's 3-0 Trojans. The home run celebration with the mini basketball hoop and the mini basketball. Not as much authority as her uncle Jody Martinez used to dunk back at Bethel, but the thought was there still.
Now it's bad. Number 28.
Second home run for Clay on the season. Her first one was at the win at Indiana Wesleyan earlier this year. 3-zip home side as Sturgeon allows her 5th homer of the year. And here's Harley Mason. Pop up to the infield. Funk, that's Abby Funk, makes the catch above her head for out number 2. And that will turn the lineup over to the top and the shortstop, Emma West.
Coming into place for the Trojans is number 5, Emma West.
West scored the first run of the day for Taylor last inning after singling up the middle. Righty versus lefty matchup. This one finds the letters on the outside corner. 0-1 to Emma West. A stellar year for West a season ago as a sophomore. We talked about the stolen base record, but at the 3rd most hits in a single season with 81, the most at-bats with 217. That's where the 2nd most runs with 56 for that high-octane Taylor offense that set the single season wins mark at 43. Second pitch is off speed, clips the outside corner, and it's 0-2 to Emma West, with the Trojans leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Way in the opposite batter's box as Emma West wanted to slap her way onto the bases here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maddie Evans waits on deck. 2 gone, nobody on after the Clay 2-run home run here in the 2nd frame for Taylor. And the pitch from Sturgeon. Slapping and sending it out of play was West, still 1-2. Another 1-2 to West. Comes inside. She dances out of the way off of one right foot. Had to pogo stick out of the one coming upstairs. It's 2-2. Nothing the Taylor lead in the bottom of the 2nd. 2-2 to West. Takes one high and got underneath of it and fouled it back. West tries to be the first Trojan with multiple hits here this afternoon. Another 2-2 on the way from Sturgeon. Up high, check swing, foul. A little half swing there from the slapper West. Still 2-2. 296 average for West. First team all Crossroads League selection a season ago. It was the first signee for head coach Erin Bellinger when she took the job as the head coach a little under 4 years ago. 2-2 again. Upstairs, now full count to West. SAU really wants to get out of this inning with no more damage done, with the power hitter Evans standing in the on-deck circle. Payoff to West. Right in her wheelhouse, slaps it into left field. Knocking it down is Lafleur, the left fielder. And it's a 2-out knock here for Emma West. She's 2 for 2 on the afternoon. And time is called by SAU head coach Deb Thompson. And the SAU infield would come in for a chat here. The Trojans have gotten a couple of hits here in this 2nd stanza. They lead 3-0. Back-to-back games or doubleheaders for the Trojans. They will have a couple of days off before squaring off with cross-county foe and 9th-ranked Indiana Wesleyan, what should have been the official start of the 2nd half of the Crossroads League season, but scheduling and weather and springtime in Indiana makes it not the true halfway point, as Taylor will play Goshen a week from yesterday, next Monday, for the first time this season. So Taylor will hit the halfway point Saturday, wrapping up their regular season series with 9th-ranked Indiana Wesleyan. That'll start at 1 o'clock. Then after next Monday, the Trojans on the road for a while until they play Indiana Tech on April 20th. West at first was ready to go if Evans could put it into play. She pulled it foul, and it's strike 1. Second plate appearance for Emma West, or for Maddie Evans on the day. Had a sac bunt that moved West up to second base an inning ago. 3-0 the Taylor lead in the bottom of the 2nd with 2 gone. Opposite batter's box. West dances off of first, and it's 1-1. Evans tied for the third most home runs in a single season last year with the 11 that she and Kristen Mahalik both knocked last season. Inside makes it 2-1. Evans also tied for the fifth most RBI in a single season with 48 of them a year ago. Power numbers down a little bit this year for the Trojans, but as you heard yesterday from head coach Aaron Bellinger, that's something that she's not too worried about. 2-1 upstairs makes it 3-1. She talked about how, her team doesn't need to worry about getting home runs every time they're up there. She's more worried, Bellinger is, about the Trojans getting on base. Well, they've gotten on base today, and they've gotten a home run from Clay. They're out front 3-zip. 3-1 here to Evans. Low and in the dirt. That's a 2-out walk, and 2 on the bases here for Ashton Whitman. And time will be called, and we might be having a pitching change here for SAU. Looks like Mackenzie Collins getting her protective mask. And Sturgeon's afternoon will come to a close after an inning and 2/3. We'll take a break and come back and introduce you to the new Spring Arbor pitcher next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
New pitcher for SAU is 33, Mackenzie Collins, junior out of Baytown, Texas. 2 on the pond for the Crossroads League Player of the Week, Ashton Whitman. 1-0, Ashton flew out to right field her first time up. Kelsey Sturgeon exits after an inning and 2/3. This one lifted into the infield, and Thrush will catch it at short. And that ends the Trojan rally here in the bottom of the second, but not before a 2-run home run from Alexi Clay makes it 3-0 Taylor after 2 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
New pitcher Mackenzie Collins, after dealing 2 pitches in the bottom of the second to get that inning over, that half inning over for SAU. She leads things off here in the top of the third for SAU, replacing Kelsey Sturgeon, who did not take a single plate appearance in the first 2 innings. Second one fouled back by Collins, and it's 1-1. Junior out of Texas, a .219 average, 7 for 32 this year as she appears in her 16th game offensively. Big swing, but she lifts it foul. It's 1-2. Yesterday, Collins 1 for 3 with a run and 2 strikeouts in Game 1 at Indiana Wesleyan, about 15 minutes away from here. And down in the count, however, 1-2 to start the third. Change-up that clips into the glove of Whitman, then popped out, and you can hear Whitman pound the ball into her mitt in frustration. Would have been strike number 3 in the second punch out for Evans. Instead, new life here for Collins, and still 1-2. But this time she swings and misses. Whitman holds on, and it's the second punch out of the day for Evans. First out here in the third with Taylor out front 3-0.
Stepping into the box, number 25, Abby Lafler.
Here's the left fielder, Abby Lafler. First pitch is in for a strike. Lafler, the junior from Vicksburg, Michigan. A .276 average for her this season. This one towards the middle. Clay on a one-hop behind second base to first. And they get the runner out by about a step and a half. Off the bat, it looked like it might sail into shallow center field, but then the bottom dropped out of it. That allowed Clay to get there after the first hop. And there are 2 retired here in the third inning.
Number 21, Abby Funk.
Bottom of the order for SAU, their second baseman, number 21, Abby Funk, a lefty. Inside goes Evans for ball 1. Funk from Hillman, Michigan. She and her fellow sophomore sister, Allie, both in the starting lineup today. Abby bats, Allie in the flex position as the catcher. Abby out there at second base. It's 2-0 to 21, Abby Funk. A .250 average for her in her sophomore season. Was 2 for 2 in game 1 yesterday. Did not have any at-bats. Came on as a pinch runner in the nightcap yesterday at Iowa. Up 3-0 here as Evans tries to prevent allowing the first base runner of the day for SAU to find their way to the base pass here at Goodecoons Field. It's a 3-zip Taylor lead here in the third. The 3-0 right down Main Street for a called strike. As Evans was ready to get into the windup, ball slipped out of her hand in her glove. You can see her smiling underneath that mask. The 3-1 here to Funk. Inside, misses on the inside corner, and it's a 2-out walk. First base runner of the day here for SAU as they trail by 3.
Coming to the plate, number 9, Jesse Pancho.
Top of the order here in the third baseman, Jesse Pancho. As Evans has to face back-to-back lefties here with 2 outs in inning number 3. Outside corner, knee high for a called strike to Pancho. The slapper grounded out to Alexi Clay, the second baseman, her first time up today. Evans trying to go back to the outside corner in the knees. This time it was below the kneecaps of 9 in highlighter yellow. And that moves the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-0 deficit for SAU as they bat in the top of the third. Inside, gets the corner here to the lefty Pancho, and Evans goes up 1-2. Runner at first is Abby Funk after the 2-out walk. The 1-2 from Evans. Off the end of the bat, to the left side and west at short, on to Tannehill at first, and SAU will leave 1 stranded. We head to the bottom of the third with Taylor leading 3-0 on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there.
3-0 Taylor lead in the bottom of the third. Caitlin Grimm, the Trojan right fielder, leads it off. She'll be followed by Morgan Back and Jersey Tannehill. 4 hits for the Trojans today. Grimm has the RBI knock, tries to go opposite way here. It tails foul, and it's strike 1 to the former Yorktown Tiger. First full inning of work here for Mackenzie Collins, who replaces the starting righty Kelsey Sturgeon. Collins 2-4 on the year, a 6.75 ERA. The second one with pace almost clips Grimm in the right elbow. It's called for ball one. Opponent's batting just below 300 against Collins here in her junior year. Hard hit by Grimm. It careens off of the support pole, holding up the nets behind the backstop. Foul ball 1-2. It's Grimm trying to ring that pole like a tuning fork. The 1-2 to Grimm. Up the middle. Missing it was Collins. Not missing it is Funk at second base. And on to first is Now. And Grimm retired for the first time today. One out for the Trojans here in the bottom of the third, ahead by 3.
Stepping to the plate, number 10, Morgan Back.
The pitcher Collins made a good stab at it with that gloved left hand. Thankfully for her, Funk able to move to her right or left and get the ground ball. As first pitch is a ball off the glove of Funk. That's Allie Funk, and off the mask of our home plate umpire. He's fine. And it's ball 1 to Morgan Back, the DP. Morgan 2 for 3 with an RBI. And then she smokes this one towards center field, but right at Chloe Geniak. Well-struck ball from Back, but there are quickly 2 gone for the Trojans here in the third.
Now up for the Trojans, number 26, Jersey Tannehill.
Back makes her 4th start of the season today. She gives a quick scouting report to Tannehill. 3-zip Taylor, bottom of the third. They try to pick up win number 14 on the year and win number 11 in the league. High and away, almost took Allie Funk back with her. She had to catch that one behind her head. 1-0 to Tannehill. 343 average for Tannehill. Opposite way and foul, up and out. Taylor got their first run of the day with a RBI single up the middle from Grimm in the first. They need to start a 2-out rally here in inning number 3. Third one, Tannehill lifts it into left field. Lafleur has plenty of room, makes the catch above her head, and the Trojans go down in order in the third. 1, 2, and 3. To the fourth we go next on the Trojan Sports Network. Taylor up by 3.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Back at Goodacoons Field, top of the fourth. Taylor leads 3-0 over Spring Arbor. The Trojans have a 26-20 all-time mark against Spring Arbor since 2005, but they have had great success in the last handful of years. Line drive to Rastetter, easy work for her. 1 pitch and 1 out. Here in the fourth as Geniak flies out to her center field counterpart.
Stepping to the plate, number 27, Maddie Gillett.
But since 2017, the Trojans have won 17 of 19 against Spring Arbor. First one to Gillett. In the air, foul territory. Whitman, mask on, easy work, and then she ran out of room as that ball lands just to the right of some SAU folks sitting right behind the backstop. Everybody's okay down there, so that's good. It looked like Whitman had the room, and then the room just disappeared as that ball just kept maneuvering over the netting behind home plate. The strike to Gillett, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to Evans. Big swing and a miss as she whiffs on the changeup. 0-2. That changeup has been Evans' best pitch for the majority of the year. Normally throws it high and then drops into the top of the zone here. She went at the letters and put it right at about the belt. 0-2 to Gillett, the DP. Bounce her up the middle. Evans waits for her to come down to her. She'll calmly toss it to first for out number 2. Big high bounce in the air, and the 5-foot Evans wisely read it. Knew it was going to come back down to her. She didn't need to run around and try to get underneath of it. Quickly 2 gone as Evans tries to get her second. 3rd 1-2-3 inning of the day as SCU has had just one base runner all afternoon. Hard hit left side. Mason just misses on the dive stab at third. And SAU gets their first hit of the afternoon, takes the no-hitter away from Evans with 2 outs here in the 4th.
Stepping in the box, number 5.
Another high bouncer on this hard dirt infield. Just out of the reach of Mason at third. Matlock at first, and here's Jade now, the SAU first baseman. Low in the dirt for ball 1. Interesting to see now not try to go after the first pitch that she's gotten here from Evans. Gignac flew out to Rastetter in center, then Matlock just single. Inside breaking ball, called for a strike on the inner half. Now the senior out of Ontario bats .250 this season. Second team all Crossroads League selection last season. Pulls it to the left and it goes foul off of the fencing that protects the Taylor dugout from the field of play. That fencing is only a couple of years old. It used to be no fencing out there at all, and so there's kind of just a little bit of a smaller fence separate everything, and now if you come out, you can see the Taylor team, as that one's ball 2-2. They've pulled a bleacher over, and that's how they stand to see over the fencing, with some still standing behind the protective fencing. The 2-2. That curveball, or the changeup just didn't drop in. Now it's 3-2. SAU in danger, or Evans in danger of putting 2 base runners on the bases for the first time today. SAU a lively bunch over there in their dugout. The payoff pitch hit to center field. Rastetter comes in, makes the catch, and for the second inning in a row, SAU strands a runner that got on with 2 outs. We're halfway home here in game 1 of our doubleheader between Spring Arbor and Taylor. The Trojans lead 3-0 here at home on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Bottom of the 4th, center fielder Aaliyah Rastetter will lead it off. Bottom third of the Trojan order coming up. Rastetter, Clay, and Harley Mason. 3-zip Taylor on the back of 4 hits. The big knock of the day highlighted by Alexi Clay's 2-run home run in inning number 2. Caitlin Grimm got Taylor on the board with a single in the first. First pitch of the belt to Rastetter here on the outside part of the plate. She scored on the Clay home run after getting hit by a pitch for the first base runner of the second inning for Taylor. Rastetter goes after it. Now she's down 0-2. We mentioned how last year, April 2nd on, was when Rastetter turned it on. She batted .398 with 6 doubles, 4 triples, all 10 of her home runs, and 32 of her 42 RBI came a year ago in that time frame. 1-2. Had the monumental home run here in the Crossroads League Championship game to put Taylor out front about midway through the game against Indiana Wesleyan last May. 1-2. Rastetter gets a piece and fouls it back. It stays at 1-2. And that huge month and a half to close the year for Rastetter helped her get a .652 slugging percentage, which was the 10th highest in a single season here at Taylor. 1-2 again from Collins. Gets her on the outside corner looking. As a big breaking ball there from Collins comes in and gets the very front right outside corner.
Number 6,
As Rasted retired for the first time today. First strikeout for Collins, and here's the home run hitter, Clay. Collins wanted to go to the outside corner again. Couldn't get it this time. It's ball 1 to Clay. Second home run for Clay this season as she takes over at second base for the graduated Kara Tucker. Inside, ball 2. Clay was 0 for 6 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. Pops one into the air. It goes over the fencing. And it's 2-1 for Alexi Clay. The fourth one, way in the opposite batter's box. Funk able to snag it, but it's 3-1 for the second baseman, Alexi Clay. Mackenzie Noah cheers on Clay from the dugout. Inside, over the head of head coach Aaron Bellinger in foul territory, third base side. And the count is all full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here for Alexi Clay, the graduate of Penn High School up in South Bend. One out, no one on at the bottom of the fourth. Taylor out front 3-0 thanks to the 2-run home run by the young lady that played Alexi Clay. Fouls off one on the inside part of the plate, and that's where she took Sturgeon deep in the second. Turned on one and hooked it around the left field foul pole. Still 3-2, and here comes pitch number 7 in Collins versus Clay. Inside, and this one ripped to left, lands in front of a diving Lafleur, ricochets off of her, lands in left center field. Clay tries to leg it out to second. They'll throw her out, trying to stretch it into a double. But Lafleur now slow to get back up in left field after that ball bounced hard off the grass and careened off of her. 2 outs for Taylor here in the fourth. We'll take a break and come back as the sports medicine staff takes a look at Lafleur and left.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
For 25, going to second base. 21's going to left field. After all the EMTs and everything showed up with the flashing lights.
So the good news is that Abby Lafleur, up on her feet, helped to the SAU dugout. Sarah Turney has come in. She's playing second base now. She'll take over in the batting order for Lafleur. Abby Funk moves from second base out to left field. 2 outs in the fourth, and here's Harley Mason, the Taylor third baseman. And it's strike one. Good to see Lafleur back to her feet after that hard hit ball from Clay. Took a big bounce off the outfield grass. As Mason drives it to center field, it drops out of the reach of Thrush, the shortstop. Thought it might carry farther into center field, but the ball died about halfway between the center fielder Geniak and the second base bag. Harley Mason gets the hit, her second one of her season and the second one of her time here at Taylor. Emma West gives her some encouragement, and she's about to step in. West 2 for 2 this afternoon. Opposite batter's box from Collins, and it's ball one. Mackenzie Noah leading the cheers in the Taylor dugout. We'll see her in game two. Ball right side, up and out of the glove of Turney, who just came in off the dugout. She had Mason running in front of her, and it goes down as an E4 on Turney. There are 2 on for the Trojans and Maddie Evans. So West is yet to be retired here this afternoon. And here's the pitcher, Maddie Evans. Third plate appearance, an 0 for 1 day, or a no play official at-bats for Evans. High and away from the 5-foot Evans, ball one. Had the sac bunt that got West into scoring position in the first, then walked in the second. She was the last batter to face the starter, Sturgeon. 2 on the pond here in the fourth. Evans tried to golf it out of here, got underneath of it, and sent it out of play foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Evans, who just missed an All-American nod a year ago after rewriting the Taylor pitching record books and also swinging a big stick at the plate. Third one, zips that one high. Good snag from Allie Funk on the pitch from Collins to keep Mason and West where they are. Good news, it looks like Lafleur A-OK as athletic trainer Patience Ramsey makes her way back from the SAU dugout over the Taylor side. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. As some of the fans down below didn't think that pitch was a strike. 2-2. 2 outs, 2 on for 32, Maddie Evans. Collins, one of the outside corner, couldn't get it. Now Collins starts to play with fire a little bit. Full count to Evans, 2 outs. And the best batter for the Trojans here in 2022, Ashton Whitman on deck. The payoff to Evans from Collins. Evans pops it up, foul territory. Pancho tries to find it, called off by Thrush, the shortstop, who makes the catch in foul ground up the left field line. Taylor strands 2. They still lead 3-0 after 4 on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Top of the fifth, Spring Arbor bats. They trail by 3. For the first-team All-Leaguer, Maddie Evans. First pitch from the righty Evans to strike to Maddie Thrush, the shortstop, who made the sprinting catch to end the bottom of the fourth. It's Thrush, Collins, and Sarah Turney. Collins low and in, and it's 1-1. Thrush 0 for 1 with a looking strikeout. Just 2 base runners all day here for SAU. Evans took a no-hitter through the fourth, went 3 2/3 of no-hit ball. Second pitch is a strike. But a walk with 2 outs in the third, and then 2 out single in the fourth, but no one has gotten past first base yet for SAU. Pop up to the infield. Clay comes in from second, makes the catch above her head for out number 1. 0 for 2 day here for the shortstop Thrush.
Coming to the plate.
Again,
Number 32,
Evans, much better control and command here at the plate than she had in game 1 yesterday. Wasn't terribly wild, just 4 walks, but just really cannot find the zone consistently. She's been much better in that category today, even with the 2 strikeouts, but has done a really good job of keeping the ball and the pitches away from the barrels of the SAU bats. First one, a ball to her pitching counterpart Collins. Oh, there is a filthy changeup that almost spun Collins into the ground like a top. A ball and a strike on Collins' second at-bat, who struck out once today. Big swing on the rise ball there. It's 1-2. One on, nobody out, top of the fifth. Change up, left or high, and it's 2-2. 3-0 the Taylor lead. Nobody on for SAU here in the top of the fifth as they bat. The 2-2. A worm burner that's full count, 3-2. Good eye from Collins. Spring Arbor had split 3 straight doubleheaders before getting swept yesterday at Indiana Wesleyan. On the wrong side of a 3-0 count here. 3-0 score here. Hard hit up the middle. Late hop. Oh, nice snag from West. Over to Tannehill with time to spare. Took a couple late hops and skips like a rock on the river. And West able to make the nice play at short. 2 gone for SAU in inning number 5.
Coming up to bat for the Cougars, number 18, Sarah Turney.
And remember, West had an upper body injury yesterday that thought might keep her out of the game today, particularly with Indiana Wesleyan looming on Saturday. West good to go. She's left her imprint on the game and has another opportunity here with the pop-up that she catches. And it's a 3-up, 3-down, fifth, third, 1-2-3 stanza for Evans here in game 1. To the bottom of the fifth we go with Taylor out front, 3-0 over Spring Arbor on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Taylor as we start at the bottom of the 5th. Spring Arbor with no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Trojans with Ashton Whitman leading it off. Curveball to the outside corner, called for a strike here against Whitman, who saw her 13-game hit streak snapped with an 0-for-3 showing in Game 1 yesterday against SAU. She came, or at USF, excuse me. She came back with a 2-for-4 performance and a sneaky run scored to help Taylor win 5-0 yesterday. Down on the count, 0-2 after the foul ball. First Crossroads League Player of the Week nod this week, reached safely in all 6 games last week for Taylor. Hard hit up the middle. There's her first hit. Back-to-back knocks in back-to-back games for Ashton Whitman. And that's the 7th hit of the day for the Trojans. Good way to lead things off here in the 5th.
Coming to the plate, number 14, Caitlin Grimm.
So a hit in 15 of the last 16 games now for the senior Ashton Whitman. And it brings up Caitlin Grimm, the lefty right fielder. Like the first one, got a piece and fouled it back and out of the glove of Funk. Third full inning of work for Collins after she entered for the starter Sturgeon with 2 outs in the 2nd. Off speed, called for a strike upstairs, 0-2 to Grimm, who's 1 for 2. Here in the first game of our doubleheader, moved up 4 hours with rain coming in later today. Opposite batter's box, Collins misses. Wanted to see if Grimm would get a little antsy. She's calm, cool, and collected, and the count sits at 1-2. No outs with Whitman at first after the leadoff single here in the 5th. Bounces it off of home plate, does Grimm, and we stay at 1-2. Mackenzie Noah channeling the early 2000s before she was born with her visor turned around backwards. If she wanted to be really hip, she turned it upside down like she's trying to catch rain. High and in, 2-2. The RBI for Grimm was her 14th of the season. And now has a hit in back-to-back games after a 2-for-3 showing in the nightcap last night. High pop-up, left side of the park. Tails out of here. As Mackenzie Noah and Meg Stanley both race for the foul ball. Noah wins that battle easily, and she'll have the chance to go get the free souvenir. 2-2 to Grimm with Whitman at first in the bottom of the 5th. Off-speed opposite batter's box, and a good battle here from Grimm. A couple of foul balls with 2 strikes, but she's worked the count full here with Sturgeon with the DP Morgan back, looming on deck. Payoff, almost got Grimm on the hands, and there are 2 on for the Trojans with nobody out. As Noah still has not found out the secret password to get into the dugout as Jersey Tannehill acting as the gatekeeper. And there might be a courtesy runner coming in here for Taylor. It will be number 34, Nicole Brindle, to go run for Caitlin Grimm at first.
Number 34, Nicole Brindle. Stepping in the box, number 10, Morgan Back.
You can hear the encouragement there from Aaron Bellinger telling Grimm how great of an at-bat that was. Remember, got down to the count early. A couple of foul balls, then let Collins come back to her. And here's Morgan Back, the DP, with 2 on the bases for the freshman from Indianapolis. 3-0 lead for Taylor in the 5th. Low and away as Whitman dances off of second. Assistant coach and pitching coach Tom Barnes over there coaching first for the Trojans. Second one to Back, the lefty bounce from the middle, off the glove of Collins into no man's land, and everybody's going to be safe. Collins had to jump into the air to try to make the stab at it. Went in and out of her glove, and they're loaded up for Jersey Tannehill, the sophomore first baseman. And a pinch runner might be coming in as well here for Back over at first. And it'll be Lexia Bruzzo will move out of the flex spot and run for Back at first base. We saw her do this a day ago.
Number 22, Lexia Bruzzo, running at first. Coming to the plate, number...
And time is called here as SAU wants to chat things in the circle. ball to Tannehill with the bases juiced here in the bottom of the 5th. Tannehill got a piece in and out of the glove of Funk for ball 1. So Abruzzo moves out of the flex spot. She runs for back over at first base. Brindle over at first. Nice piece of hitting from Tannehill through the right side. One comes home. Here comes Tannehill, or here comes Brindle. Tannehill wants to get the second. She does as the ball fumbled with by Funk on the low throw. 2 RBI knock for Jersey Tannehill. And the Trojans take a 5-zip lead with runners at second and third. And time is called here with Spring Arbor. Tannehill gets RBIs number 4 and 5 on the year. And it'll be a second pitching change of the day as Elena Jones enters for SAU. Five-zip Taylor with 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 on the pond here for Aaliyah Rastetter as the Trojans try to take an even bigger stranglehold here in the bottom of the 5th. Leading by 5, it's ball 1 here to Rastetter. New pitcher in is Elena Jones, number 20, sophomore right-hander out of Shelby Township, Michigan. Came in for 3 2/3 in game 1 yesterday at Indiana Wesleyan. Rastetter pokes it up the middle. This should clear the bases. They'll hold Tannehill at third as it just squeaked on through past second. Abruzzo scoots in from third. RBI knock here for Rastetter. So back-to-back RBI producing hits for the roommates, Tannehill and Rastetter, and it's now 6-0 Trojans. Jones makes her 12th appearance, 11th one in relief, and she squares off with Clay, who's already homered once today. Inside, Rastetter heads down the second. The throw cut off by the second baseman, Turney. And Tannehill wisely reads it, and she stays situated at third. Second and third for Clay with Taylor out front. 6-0 in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runs away from a run rule triumph here in the opener. 1-1 the count to Clay here at the plate, who's a perfect 2 for 2 on the afternoon. The homer and the single back in the 4th, then got thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. Third one, bouncer up the middle, scooped nicely by the shortstop Thrush, pirouetting and staying back on second is Rastetter. No outs, and so Tannehill in a rundown, down to third, she's safe. Rastetter's got to get back to first. She slides in there. Clay boogies her way back to first, and everybody's safe, and the bases are loaded for the second time here in the inning.
Coming up to that, number 28, Harley Mason.
Rastetter almost got tagged out at second. She thought it was going to get through, and then it was vacuumed up by Thrush, the shortstop. And everybody's safe. They're loaded, nobody out for Harley Mason with Taylor ahead, 6-0. Mason, the 6th batter here in the bottom of the 5th. Tannehill, Rastetter, and Clay, the runners from third to first. Mason lifts it. Backhand catch by Turney, the second baseman, for out number 1. And now to the top of the order in Emma West.
Number 5, Emma West.
Jones comes in and replaces the first reliever of the day, Mackenzie Collins. Low and away, in and out of the glove of Funk. She keeps it within the zip code, and Tannehill wisely stays at first. 2 for 3 day for Emma West with a couple of singles and reached on the fielding error back in the fourth. Misses the opposite corner. Jones 2-0. Bases juiced for West. Has 2 runs batted in on the year. Low in the dirt, 3-0, and nowhere to put her. And Cameron Arlotto waits on deck. She'll pinch hit for Evans if she can come to the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. Taylor ahead, 7-0. That's a 4-pitch walk. West will get the RBI on a bases-loaded free pass. And Arlotto comes in for the 9th bat of the inning. Bases still juiced, and Taylor ahead 7-0, a run away from the run rule triumph.
Pinch hitting for the Trojans, number 1, Cameron Arlotto.
And that closes the book on Collins as Tannehill scores. Time is called as Aaron Bellinger almost forgot that she had to let the umpire know that Arlotto wants to pinch hit. So Taylor a run away from run-ruling SAU and moving their record to 14-12 and 11-4 in the Crossroads League.
1 for 32.
Arlotto yesterday 1 for 1 in a pinch hit role in game 2. Pinch hit for the starting pitcher Mackenzie Noah, and also came around to score a run as well.
Go, ladies.
Arlotto 3 for 8 here in her sophomore season with a double, and she appears in her 10th game. Backup catcher for the Trojans behind the senior Whitman. They're loaded up as Geniak's late to get back towards center field. Arlotto tried to send it that way. There was a conversation going on after the foul ball here from Arlotto. There was a conversation going on between Abby Funk, the left fielder, and Geniak, the center fielder. And Geniak was late to get back to center field, and Arlotto, if she could have barreled that one up, that's right where that ball would have gone. Said it's a foul ball on the first one. A ball in, low and in, as the SAU outfield plays extremely close here against the 5'7" Arlotto, who's got some pop in the bat. Third one. Inside for ball number 2 with the bases full. Taylor ahead 7-0. They've out-hit SAU 10-1 in the game so far. 1 run away from a run rule victory in game 1 of the doubleheader. 2-1 to Arlotto. Hard hit right side. Nice reaching catch from Turney. Rastetter was ready to come home, but Turney snags it out of the air. And there's out number 2 for Taylor here in the 5th. They've scored 4 runs. And Taylor will bat around.
Another pinch hitter for Taylor, number 27, Meg Stanley.
So the Trojans will bat around here in the 5th. And Meg Stanley comes in for the Trojans. She bats for the catcher, Ashton Whitman. Stanley, the 5'6" freshman from Middletown, Indiana. 217 average, 5 for 23. And remember, Stanley's got the pop, home run in her first career collegiate at-bat back in February. A base knock here to score her pal Rastetter from third.
27 for 11, re-enter 14.
So Caitlin Grimm re-enters as she waits on deck. The Trojans are run away from run-ruling SAU here in the bottom of the 5th. Grimm stands on deck. She'll re-enter if we head to the top of the 6th. But Stanley tries to end it here with the bases juiced. A base knock will do just that here against Elena Jones. First one, Stanley tried to hit it to the moon, and she comes up empty on that one on the inside part of the plate. If Stanley connects with that, she might have done cartwheels all the way around the bases. Second one, inside. Stanley rolls it up left side, right to the third baseman. Pancho gets the force out at third, and the game rolls on as we head to the top of the 6th with Taylor ahead 7-0.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Number 21, Abby Funk.
4 runs in the bottom of the 5th for Taylor. They lead Spring Arbor 7-0. And 9-1-2 up here for SAU as Abby Funk, the now left fielder, who was the starting second baseman before an upper body injury for the starting left fielder, Abby Laffler. She's okay now as we see her walking at the end of the SAU dugout. Pops the glove of Whitman, but it's upstairs, 2-0. Funk, then Pancho and Geniac, 9-1-2. For SAU, they avoided getting run ruled with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Inside, called for a strike to make it 2-1. Funk walked her first time up. That was the first base runner of the day for SAU. They've only gotten 2 on all day. And there will be 3 as that one lifted over opposite way over the head of West at short. Funk a 1-for-1 day. She's got the second hit for SAU and a good start to the top of the 6th for Spring Arbor as they trail by 7.
Stepping in the box, number 9, Jessie Pancho.
Stop at the order, the third baseman, Jessie Pancho. Good job by Whitman to bring that ball back down to the letters of Pancho for a called strike 1. The third baseman is 0-for-1, grounded out to Clay at second and West at short today. Low, good snag from Whitman to keep it in front of her. That holds Abby Funk at first. It's 1-1. Wind blows slightly out towards left field. Not as strong as we saw yesterday here against St. Francis. Change up, ground ball to Clay. Fields flips to second for 1. On to first. Tannehill picked it, but not in time as Pancho beats the throw. The Trojans, though, get the lead runner on a nice little flip from Clay. 1 gone for SAU in the 6th, down by 7.
Now it's bat, number 7, Chloe Geniac.
Here's Chloe Geniac, the switch-hitting center fielder. Off-speed inside half, called for a strike from Evans. Geniac grounded out to Evans in the circle, then flew out to Rastetter in center. Bunt is shown, pulls it back. It's low for ball number 1. Geniac, the senior out of Ontario, Canada, tries to extend her hitting streak to 3 after getting a couple of hits in the games yesterday at Indiana Wesleyan. Third one from Evans with the count even at 1. Now Geniac ahead in the count, 2-1. That's the lefty batting as a switch hitter all 3 times here against the right-hander Evans. Thinks about trying to slap her way on here. Off the end of the bat on the slap swing, goes off the netting. It's 2-2 on the foul ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2 hits on the afternoon for SAU. Pancho's at first after the fielder's choice. 1 retired for SAU in the 6th. Bouncer right side out of the reach of Evans. Clay fields at second, tags out the runner, trying to advance to second base, but then as Pancho tried to avoid Clay, she is down on the turf and looks to be hurt. We'll take a break and come back here with more on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greeks Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria, it's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Back here at Goodacoons Field, 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Jessie Pancho helped to the end of her dugout by Taylor athletic trainer Patience Ramsey and one of her teammates. We wish the best for Pancho, the junior out of Ontario. 2 outs, runner at first is Gignac, and here's the DP, Maddie Gillett for SAU. They trail by 7 in the top of the 6th, and Gillett is 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts. Evans low and in, 1-0 to the righty Gillett. Evans tries to get her 8th win of the season after setting the single-season wins marks last year with 23. Screwball inside, high and in to 27 in neon yellow, 2-0. Just 2 hits on the afternoon for SAU after Evans gave up 5 hits and a couple of home runs in the 4-0 loss to St. Francis yesterday. Gillett smokes this one to center field. Abruzzo watched it sail over her head. That one lands onto the sidewalk and rolls into the parking lot. Gillett hammers her 2nd home run of the year, and SAU cashes in with a 2-out, 2-run home run here in the top of the 6th. So Taylor had an opportunity to run rule SAU in the bottom of that 5th inning, came up empty with 2 outs and the bases loaded. There were only 1 out and the bases loaded. Could I get that last run to get that 8-0 run rule victory? And we play on as their lead down to 5 here at the top of the 6th. Here's Sarah Matlock, the right fielder. 7-2, the SAU advantage or deficit here in the top of the 6th with 2 outs. Ball 1 on a worm burner into Matlock. High and away, but catches the upper part of the zone for a strike. 1-1. 1 for 2 day for Matlock. Flew out to Abruzzo in foul territory and left. And then singled to the left side in the 4th. Big swing and a miss on the changeup. Count sits 1-2 in the favor of Evans. The 1-2. Back to the changeup, and Evans gets a swing and a miss. But 2 runs come home for SAU. Their first 2 runs of game 1. They now trail by 5, 7-2, as we go to the bottom of the 6th here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Number 13, Marissa Morgan, into the game for the Cougars. She comes in at first, shifting number 5, Jade, now to third base.
Good job.
Good job, Wally. Way to get that. You got the approval of our home plate umpire. Well done, big guy. So Marissa Morgan comes in. She will take the spot of Jesse Pancho in the batting order. If Taylor cannot get a couple of runs here in the 6th to run rule SAU, Jade now moves from first over to third because of the injury to Jesse Pancho running the bases. Leading off the 6th inning for Taylor is Caitlin Grimm, Morgan back, and Jersey Tannehill to follow here with Taylor in the driver's seat up 7-2. Opposite batter's box, and it's 2-0. Here to Caitlin Grimm. CG 1 for 2 today. The RBI single in the 1st got Taylor on the board, then walked and scored, and then walked back in the 5th. Brindle came in to run for her and scored. There's a strike to make it 2-1 from Elena Jones. It's her first full inning of work after coming in. The Trojans got the first 4 base runners to the plate, and that knocked out the reliever Mackenzie Collins. Grimm ropes one towards center field. It rolls calmly through that wet outfield grass. Second knock of the day for Grimm. She's 2 for 3. And Taylor gets their 11th hit and a leadoff batter on here to start things off in inning number 6.
Number 10, Morgan back.
The DP Morgan back, 1 for 3 this afternoon. Wind blows in from center slightly. Back. Pops it high in the air. Good read from Abby Funkin. Left makes the catch above her head. And there's quickly the first out here in the 6th. That wind picked up out of nowhere. Started to blow in. Big swing from back. Got a little bit underneath of it. Fly out to left, and there's one gone for the first baseman, Jersey Tannehill. Tannehill 1 for 3, a 2 RBI single in the 5th. Off the end of the bat, foul. But the Grimm situated over there at first. Tannehill, the 5'6" sophomore from Martinsville, Indiana. Now has a 3-game hit streak with single hits in the last 3 games. Beautiful changeup dropped in from Jones, and it quickly drops the count to 0-2 to Jersey Tannehill. Righty versus lefty. Jones comes home. Low and away from the lefty Tannehill, 1-2. Rastetter waits on deck, with Grimm over at first after the leadoff single. The 1-2. Off speed, Tannehill waits back and sends it screaming foul. Out of play to the left in the Taylor bullpen. Tannehill no batting gloves as she steps in, but does have the chin strap on to hold that white batting helmet tight to her noggin. 1-2. Pulls it to the right side underneath the glove of Morgan. Second hit of the day for Tannehill. She's 2 for 4. After start of the day 0 for 2, 2 for 2 in the last 2 times up, and here comes her roommate, Aaliyah Rastetter.
Now up to the Trojans, number 16, Aaliyah Rastetter.
Rastetter hoping to collect her second hit in a row, just like Tannehill just did. First one to Rastetter. Inside on the hands for a called strike. Aaliyah hit by a pitch, scored on the home run by Clay in the second. Struck out looking in the fourth, and then had that RBI single up the middle last inning in the fifth when Taylor batted around and scored 4. Pulls this one to the left side. Bellinger has to get out of the way because there's 3 SAU players converging on her at one point. But Sales foul, drops to the grass. It's 0-2 to Rastetter. Two strikes to Rastetter with 2 on and 1 out. High and away for ball 1. Good eye from the 5 to Aaliyah Rastetter. One, two, half swing off the end of the bat to right field. Snagged by Sarah Matlock. Fires a rope into third base, and Jade now holds the runners where they are. There are 2 outs for Taylor. Here in the bottom of the 6th, they lead 7-2.
Now for Taylor, number 6, Alexi Clay.
2 outs for Alexi Clay, who is yet to be retired here this afternoon. Good bounce back for Clay after going 0 for 6 in the 2 games against USF yesterday. Ball at the plate here to Clay. 2-run homer in the second, like we've mentioned. Single, then got caught trying to stretch it into a double in the 4th. Upstairs, misses as Jones, 2-0. Taylor has out-hit SAU today 12-3, and they lead 7-2. The 2-0 to Clay. Inside, lifts it, but right to the glove of the shortstop Thrush. And we head to the top of the 7th. SAU down to their last 3 outs. They trail by 5 here in Game 1 of the doubleheader on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
SAU's down to their last 3 outs here in the top of the 7th. Third baseman Jade Now, who started off at first base, leads it off. She'll be followed by Maddie Thrush. It was presumably the current pitcher, Elena Jones. We'll see who they put third in the order. High bounce to left side, over the jumping Evans, deep in the hole. West, she still tries to make the play. She won't be able to get the throw in time. Evans, at 5-foot frame, comes back to her there, even though she popped high in the air, went off the end of her glove as she moves over to third after being the starting pitcher. And the pinch runner might be coming in here for Now at first. Lindsay Nolt, the new pitcher for the Trojans. Elena Walker, number 2, comes in to run for Now over at first base.
Running for the Cougars, number 2, Elena Walker. Stepping into the box, number 24, Maddie Thrush.
Nolt with a 1.62 ERA, appears in her 5th game of her junior season. First pitch, bouncing, backing up West, underhands to second for 1. On to first, Tannehill got the pick, but the speedster Thrush beats the throw. A fielder's choice throws the first down up on the big board in right center field here in the 7th.
After that, number 20, Elena Jones.
So Elena Jones will bat here for SAU. She's 0 for 8 on the year at the plate. High and away from the righty Nolt, 1-0. Elena, sophomore out of Shelby Township, Michigan. Does have an RBI and 2 walks. Was 0 for 2 with a strikeout when she came in relief for Emily Hamp yesterday, excuse me. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Spring Arbor down 7-2 here in the top of the 7th. Third one from Nolt. To the right side, Clay vacuums up, flips on to second. West couldn't turn 2. Good smart play there for West just to eat it. That brings SAU down to their last out here in the 7th on another fielder's choice. First one was 6-4, this one 4-6, and the last hope will be the second baseman, Sarah Turney.
Coming up to bat, number 18, Sarah Turney.
Turney, the sophomore from Uniondale, Indiana, that's up north. Makes her first plate appearance of the season. Plays in her 3rd game for the sophomore. Was a second baseman yesterday, but did not see time at the plate and did not play in game 2 at Indiana Wesleyan. Ball 1 here to Turney. Thought about swinging, kept it back, but it's called for a strike, 1-1. Runner at first with SAU down 5 here in the top of the 7th. With 2 outs, and the count sits at 1-1 to Turney. Beautiful changeup from Nolt, and Spring Arbor's down to their last strike here in game 1. Nolt readies. The 1-2 comes home. Outside corner just misses for strike 3 as the infield was ready to come celebrate with Nolt. Instead, they'll have to wait, and the count sits at 2-2. The pitch in the air to Rastetter in center. She goes back at the warning track and makes the catch with about 1.5 feet to spare. And Taylor wins game 1 by the final of 7-2. Lions score, SAU 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. The Trojans 7 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. Maddie Evans gets the win. She moves to 8-5 on the year. Kelsey Sturgeon will take the loss. She moves to 1-5. Taylor now sits at 14-12 on the year, 11-4 in the Crossroads League. SAU falls to 10-16, 4-11 in league action. We'll be back with game 2 of our doubleheader in about 25 minutes. That's next here on the Trojan Sports Network. Here we go to start game number 2. Taylor won game 1 by a final of 7-2. Mackenzie Noah fires in a strike, and it's Chloe Gignac, the lefty, leading things off. The switch hitter leading things off here for SAU. She'll lead things off after batting into the 2-hole in game number 1. Fouls it off a home plate, rolls up the first base line, and it is 0-2. Gignac 0 for 3 in the opener. Did score on a fielder's choice. No balls and 2 strikes as she bats as a lefty here against the right-handed throwing Mackenzie Noah. Off speed, little pop-up left side. Evans races after it, just misses it as it lands down and away from her as she hustles in from third. Still 0-2. This will be the 4th pitch that Noah deals. Little backdoor breaking action, misses low and away, ball 1 to Gignac. Gignac, the senior from Ontario, started the day batting .260. And had a back-to-back hits yesterday, was 0 for in the opener, did reach on the fielder's choice. Little soft pop-up. Oh, look at Emma West! Darts into her left or right, reaches up and snags a leadoff single away from Gignac. Stellar defensive play from West in the first game, and now adds 1 here in game number 2. And that brings up the starting pitcher, Emily Hamp. First team all-league selection a year ago, the lefty sophomore out of Alto, Michigan. Did not see Hamp in game number 1. Enters the day batting .304. There's a couple bounces to West at short fields and fires over to Tannehill for out number 2, excuse me. And the next batter will be Maddie Gillett, the DP.
Out to that, number 27, Maddie Gillett.
Gillett was the only run producer in the opener for SAU. The 2-run home run took the shutout away from Maddie Evans, who picked up her 8th win of the year. Mackenzie Noah trying to get to 500, got her 6th win of the season yesterday. 7 innings, allowed 7 hits, but no runs on 95 pitches. That ERA sits at 2.49. Off speed and low, 2-0. To the DP, Chloe Gignac. No score, top of the first. 2 outs and nobody on for the SAU Cougars. Backdoor pitch inside, and it's now 2-1 on the called strike. Big news from around the Crossroads League. Huntington run rules Mount Vernon Nazarene, second place team that's ahead of the Trojans by a game. Ground ball left side. There's Evans at third to first, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the first for Mackenzie Noah and the Trojans. We're back with the bottom of the first next on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
2-0 to Emma West as she leads off the bottom of the first for the Trojans. 0-0 game. As West squares off with the sophomore first-team All-League pitcher a year ago, Emily Hamp. West fouls this one back, and it's 2-1. West was 2 for 3 in the game, was not retired at all in the opener. Now the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike for West as she leads it off. Single, reached on an error and walked with the bases loaded her 4 times at the plate in game 1. And she starts game 2 off with a walk here in the bottom of the first. Maddie Evans to follow her, then Ashton Whitman, Caitlin Grimm, Morgan Back, Jersey Tannehill, Alexi Clay, Aaliyah Rastetter, and Mackenzie Noah.
Maddie Evans.
Hamp, the sophomore from Alto, Michigan, a 6-5 overall record. ERA sits at 3.95 and almost 71 innings of work this season. 74 strikeouts and now just 18 walks. Against her pitching counterpart, Evans burns a ball in on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Opponents batting just .246 against Hamp here this season. Took the loss yesterday in game 1, lasted just 2 innings, and gave up 7 runs against Indiana Wesleyan. Evans pops it into the air, lands in fair territory, then rolls out of play for the foul ball, 0-2. Thankfully for Evans, there were 3 different Cougars converging as she got underneath on the bunt try, tried to sacrifice West over to second like she did in the bottom of the first of game 1. 2 strikes on her here. Evans 0 for 1 in the opener. Checks a swing on 1 high. Good eye, 1-2. We'll set the defense behind Hamp after the Evans at-bat comes to a conclusion. Righty versus righty, the 1-2. Evans grooves it towards the gap in right center field. Diving and unable to make the catch is Sarah Matlock. Everybody is safe, as Matlock was playing way back and way far towards the right field foul line. A bloop single in for Evans, her first hit of the doubleheader, and they're 2 on with nobody out for the Crossroads League Player of the Week, Ashton Whitman. Whitman shows bunt, pulls it back. Runner heads down to third. West slides in underneath the tag of the shortstop Thrush, and everybody's safe. West gets stolen base number 5 on the year. Evans swipes her 3rd. That was a tough play there, and it looked West didn't start the slide potentially soon enough. So the tag was too high on West. That's how she's safe. Just that's how Whitman, who was at the plate, that's how she scored yesterday. The tag was too high. So West is safe. And it's 2-0 now to Whitman after the second one misses its target. Remember, yesterday was the fielder's choice. Whitman scored from 3rd. The throw beat her home, but the tag was too high as she fouls the 2-0 away. And that's the same thing that happens here with West. Got tagged in the shoulder head region. Even though it looked like she got the ball beat her there, the tag beat her. Too high of a tag. It's 2nd and 3rd here for Whitman with nobody out in the first. 2-1, Whitman threw the blowing breeze to left field. It's caught by Gabby Nafziger. She fires it into the infield, and the runners stay where they are. First out here in the bottom of the first. Here's the Spring Arbor defense. Navziger in left, Chloe Geniak in center, Sarah Matlocks in right. Jade Now at 3rd, Maddie Thrush, the shortstop, Elena Walker at 2nd, Kelsey Sturgeon at 1st, and Allie Funk is behind the plate. 2 on, 1 out for the lefty, Caitlin Grimm. Right in the wheelhouse, a late swing, and she'll send it out a play to the left. Grimm was 2 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Fouls the second one back, 0-2. And that 7-2 victory in game 1. West with the speed at 3rd. Evans with good wheels back at 2nd. 0-2. Upstairs, Grimm smacks it to center. Geniak is back. Makes the catch in the left center field gap. West tags. So does Evans. West will score standing up. Evans in there at 3rd. On her feet as well. Sack fly for Grimm, and Taylor leads 1-0 for the second time today on an RBI producing contact by Caitlin Grimm.
That's bad. Number 10, Morgan back.
West at third base. Or Evans at third base, excuse me. First contact, Tannehill ducks in the on-deck circle. Foul ball from back. Back, fouls out of play to the left. 0-2. Singled, went 1 for 4 in game 1 as she makes her 5th start of the season and her 3rd consecutive start, all of the DP spot. Misses away, it's 1-2. Good eye from back on one that was tantalizingly close to the outside part of the plate. 1-2, upstairs, 2-2. One run in, one at third for back with 2 outs in the first. Bouncer to the left side. Thrush charges from short, fields a low one to first base. They retire back, but an RBI sac fly for Caitlin Grimm gives Taylor a 1-0 lead after 1 on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
An off day for the Taylor baseball team, so starting pitcher Noah Huseman has made his way out to Goodacoons Field. He was bopping his head along to a little Britney Spears in between the bottom of the first and the top of the second. It was a 1-2-3 first for Mackenzie Noah. Her team, the Trojans of Taylor, lead 1-0. And she squares off with the right fielder Sarah Matlock to start things here in the top of the second. 3 up, 3 down in the first, and then a Caitlin Grimm sac fly has given Taylor the 1-0 advantage. Off speed, opposite way towards the aforementioned Grimm. She runs in, makes the catch about chin high for out number 1, and then dribbles in a throw to Clay at second base, who laughs at Grimm's expense. Another efficient day here for Noah. 95 pitches in her 7 innings yesterday. She's used just 12 here in an inning and a third. Then the batter is Jade Now, the third baseman. Off speed away, 1-0. One out, nobody on. Wind blows from right to left on this cloudy Tuesday afternoon. And Noah gets a called strike on a breaking ball to the outside corner. Now went 1 for 3 in the opener with a single. To the right side, will it go foul? It does. Grimm gives chase and will just run out of room before it bounces in for a foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here with 1 out and nobody on for Spring Arbor, they trailed 1-0 in the top half of the second.
1 ball, 2 strike count.
This one left side, just out of the reach of the dive attempt from Evans at third. 1 out single, first hit of the day, and the first base runner on for SAU, as Now pulls that one through the left side of the infield.
Now stepping into the box, number 2, Elena Walker.
And the batter is Elena Walker. Did not see her in a starting role, came into pinch run for Now back in the opener day. Walker, the freshman from Ann Arbor, Michigan, was really strong yesterday in Game 2 at Indiana Wesleyan, going 2 for 2, scoring twice with a walk. First one from Noah's, ball 1. The second one lifted into the air. Second baseman Alexi Clay underneath. makes the catch for the first out. The second out, excuse me, here in the second inning. Defense behind Noah here in game 2. Lexi Abruzzo, Aaliyah Rasted, or Caitlin Grimm from left field to right field. Maddie Evans at third, Emma West at short, Alexi Clay at second, Jersey Tannehill at first, and Ashton Whitman Jr. the third is behind the plate. Up and away, off speed for ball number 1. Kelsey Sturgeon, starting pitcher in game 1, the first baseman here in game 2 bats. Sturgeon did not even get a chance to come to the plate after she got bounced after 2 innings in the circle, or inning and change, did not get up. Or would have led off the 3rd inning before getting pulled. 1-1, high and away. Noah upset with herself, and it's now 2-1. Runner at first for SAU as the dugout gets behind her. 2-1 from Noah. Hard hit to center field and Rastetter. Easy work for the center fielder, who shades over to left center and makes the catch. SAU strands 1. We head to the bottom of the second with Taylor still leading 1-0 on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
First pitch to Tannehill, sent to the third baseman now, and Tannehill retired over at first. 1 pitch and 1 out. Here to start things off in the bottom of the second for Taylor as they lead 1-0 over SAU.
Now to bat, number 6, Alexi Clay.
And that brings up Alexi Clay, who had the big knock for Taylor in the opener, the 2-run home run that gave Taylor a 3-0 lead on their way to a 7-2 triumph. Hamp finds the outside corner to the righty in Clay, strike 1, with Aaliyah Rastetter to follow her. Belt high, little breaker to the outside half, now 0-2 on the called strike. Two strikes to Clay, bounces it left side off the heel of the glove of Now. She spins around, does a 360, and Clay is safe at first on the E5 on the misplayed ground ball.
Now coming up to bat for the Trojans, number 16, Aaliyah Rastetter.
So Mackenzie Noah on deck, cheers on Aaliyah Rastetter here at the plate. First pitch goes after it, fouls it off. Home plate, strike 1 for the center fielder Rastetter. Aaliyah hit by a pitch, had an RBI single. And time will be called as
I'm good, but not really.
Rastetter says she's okay. Sack fly from Grimm in the first, the difference right now. A strike to Rastetter with Clay at first after the error. 1-1 now to Rastetter. Second one called for a strike. Third one called for a strike, 1-2. Aaliyah started the day batting .235, was 0 for 4 in the 2 games yesterday against USF. So the 1 for 3 showing in the opener. Much better. She'll swing through a rise ball here. Comes up empty. And Hamp gets her first strikeout of the afternoon. Second out here in the second with Taylor still ahead 1-0.
Mackenzie Noah.
Here comes the pitcher Mackenzie Noah batting out of the 9 spot. Noah, the DP in game 1 yesterday, went 0 for 3. Tries to hit this one out of here on the first offering from her counterpart Hamp and fouls it back. Mack was 1 for 2 yesterday. Enters the day 172 at the plate with a double and a home run, making up her 5 hits. Second one lays back on one upstairs, 1-1. One zip the Taylor lead, each team with a single hit so far. As we play in the bottom of the second with 2 outs. Noah high bouncer up the middle, backhand snap. Oh, through the glove! Wonderful play by Elena Walker, the second baseman. Charged from her right, our left. Fielded the ball behind second base and then flipped it out of the glove to the shortstop Thrush to get the force out of Clay at second base. We've played 2 here in Game 2 from Goodocoons Field. It's Taylor 1, Spring Arbor nothing on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Two innings in the books here from Goodocoons Field. Top of the third, Taylor leads 1-0. Mackenzie Noah tries the outside corner, can't find it against the shortstop Maddie Thrush. 8-9-1, Thrush, Nafziger, top of the order, and Geniak. Hard hit ball to the outfield. Abruzzo and Rastetter chase after. They look up, they both run out of room, and this one sails over the left center field fence for a game-tying home run by Maddie Thrush. Second home run of the year for the freshman, and that levels the game at 1 apiece. Just the third home run that Noah has allowed here in her freshman campaign. 1-1, our score on the second hit of the day for SAU.
Now coming to play, number 22, Gabby Nafziger.
So our game tied at 1 here in this top of the third, as that home run ball thrown back in from the outfield by Taylor women's basketball head coach Jody Martinez. The big man now makes the slow walk back to his comfortable chair just behind the center field fence. Here's the batter, Nafziger, the left fielder. A low one from Noah, ball 1 for the slapping lefty playing left field here in the nightcap. We did not see Nafziger in game number 1. She's a junior from Archbold, Ohio. Second one finds the zone outside corner, 1-1. Nafziger is 0 for 3 at the plate this year in her previous 18 games, makes her 10th start right here. Bounces it right side, playing in was Clay Fields and tosses to first in Tannehill. They retire the slapper Nafziger for the first out here in the third with the game tied at 1.
Number 7, Chloe Geniak.
And now we go to the top of the order and Chloe Geniak. The switch hitting center fielder with now the whole Taylor infield creeps in. Nobody on and 1 out in the third. It's ball low in the way in the dirt. Geniak 0 for 1, popped out to Emma West, who sprinted and caught the ball reaching in the air just in front of second base, back in the first. Pulls it to the right side, up the first base line, right to Tannehill. She snags it, steps on first as she and Clay share a laugh, as Clay almost stepped in front of Tannehill before being called off by Jersey at first.
Coming to the plate, number 17.
2 outs up on the big board for the pitcher, Emily Hamp. Hamp with a 3.04 average. Off the handle of the bat, right side. Charging to her right is Clay, back to first, and they get Hamp by a step. Hamp can't believe it as Noah works around a leadoff home run here or leadoff home run. The difference right now for SC, we're tied at 3. To the bottom of the third, we go on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Top of the order up for Taylor here in the bottom of the third as the game is even at 1 after the home run by Maddie Thrush, the shortstop, to lead off the top of this third frame. Emma West, the top of the Taylor order, takes a strike on the first one here from the pitcher, Emily Hamp. Taylor has mustered just one hit all day. It was a single by Maddie Evans and the sac fly from Grimm. Scored West as she tries to poke it opposite way. A late swing sends it tailing over the Taylor dugout. Foul ball out of play, strike 2. West walked, got to second on the single from Evans, stole third on a double steal, and then scored on the sac fly from Grimm. 0-2. Good eye from West as Hamp throws a changeup in the opposite batter's box. 1-2. Back across the heart of the plate. Late swing from the slapper. West goes out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes. West, a good bounce back. Has now had a hit in 3 straight games, going 2 for 3 in the opener. As we mentioned, was not retired at all. Bouncer left side over the jumping now. Well placed there by West. That late slapping swing bounced it right over Now's head, who's a good 5'10 or 5'11 at third. And West is on for the second straight plate appearance, and the go-ahead run is on with nobody out. Third baseman Maddie Evans steps in. Bunt with West, a big lead off of first, ball high. Remember, these two, Evans and West, linked up for a sac bunt in game 1 that moved West into scoring position in that first inning, and Grimm drove her in then, before Grimm drove her in here in the first in game 2. Second one, late show on the bunt, first base side, nicely placed, scooped by Sturgeon at first. A low throw that's scooped by Walker, the second baseman, who covers at first. But Evans does her job, moves West up to second base with 1 out here in the third. The game still level at 1.
Number 11, Ashton Whitman.
Whitman, the Crossroads League Player of the Week, last week batted .556 with 4 extra base hits, 5 runs batted in, a .600 on base percentage, and she slugged almost .900 last week. Looking for the first big hit here, a high pitch from Hamp almost sends Allie Funk all the way back to the backstop. Ball 1 here to Whitman. A single back in the first game was her first hit of the doubleheader. Flew out to right. No fly out here. She'll hit it to right anyway. It's a gapper. West could do backflips and score from second with that monster knock from Whitman. That gives the Trojans the lead at 2-1 as Whitman adds to her RBI total with now an even 20.
Stepping in the box, number 14, Caitlin Grimm.
(2-1) Taylor on their third hit of the day. All have been singles. A low one covered up by Funk. That holds Whitman at first. Up and on the hands, Grimm backs away 2-0. Grimm started the day batting just .271, but was 2 for 3 in the second game yesterday against St. Francis. And she was 2 for 3 with the walk in game 1 earlier today with the sac fly already here in game 2. 3-0 to Grimm. Whitman already leads the Trojans in batting at over 400. If Grimm could start going, that can make this lineup really, really lethal as the Trojans play their way through April. Fourth one to the outside corner. A get-me-over pitch makes it 3-1. 2-1 the Taylor lead after the RBI single from Whitman. She's at first. Grimm sends it opposite way and out of play. Full count, 3-2.
3 ball, 2 strike count. 3 ball, 2 strike.
Payoff. Grimm pulls it to the right and will do it again. A couple of runs batted in for Grimm on the year. She's got 15 now after the RBI in the opener. Hamp readies. The righty comes home with another one to the lefty. Grimm inside, almost got her on the hands as it serpentined around her. First free pass allowed by, or second free pass allowed by Hamp today, excuse me. She came in, remember, with just 17 on the year in her previous 12 appearances and starts. And it sets the stage for Morgan back, the lefty DP, with 2 on and just 1 out in the third as Taylor looks for some insurance. Hard hit by Back. It screams into the netting on the left side of the backstop. 0-1. Sun has gone away after flirting a little bit back in game number 1. Back, a foul ball again, lifts it over the dugout. Some of her teammates duck for cover. 2 strikes to the DP Back, who's 0 for 1 today. Whitman at second, Grimm behind her at first. A run already home for Taylor here in the third. They lead 2-1. 0-2, good eye from Back to sit back on the rise ball, 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strike.
Temperatures look to gone down here as folks trying to grab for the heavier coats as we're a 1 out into the third. Another one upstairs that Back lays back on, 2-2 the count.
2 ball, 2 strike.
Jersey Tannehill waits on deck for the home team. The 2-2 to Back. Bounces it left side, right to now. She steps on third for 1, over to first, and a 3. It's going to be a 5-3 double play as Sturgeon able to keep her right foot on the bag. SAU does give up 1 run, and after 3, it's Taylor 2, Spring Arbor 1 on the Trojan Sports Network. SAU back down by 1 as they bat in the top of the 4th. The DP, Maddie Gillett, will lead it off. Right at the knees, good pitch from Noah on an off-speed delivery for a called strike. 3, 4, and 5 come up for SAU here in the 4th. Gillett, Matlock, and now. 1 strike to Gillett, off-speed, lifts it in the air right side. Grimm gives chase, and it'll drop in before she can get to that one. Strike number 2 here to Gillett. Gillett was just 1 for 3 in the opener, but that one was a big one as the only run-producing hit for Spring Arbor in the ballgame, a 2-run home run that broke a 7-0 Taylor lead back in the 6th of the opener today. 2 strikes to Gillett as she leads off the 4th. Off speed, got her looking on the outside corner. Nice placement there from Noah for her first strikeout today.
Stepping into the box, number 15, Sarah Matlock.
One out, nobody on for Sarah Matlock with SAU trailing the Trojans 2-1. Off speed, little screwball inside from the righty Noah, misses for ball one. Matlock flew out to her right field counterpart, Caitlin Grimm, her only time at the dish so far. A little extra oomph from Noah, misses it high, 2-0. Matlock 1 for 3 with a single in the game earlier today. Taylor won that one 7-2. They're up 2-1 here with SAU batting in the fourth. Noah misses her target low, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes to Matlock. Fourth one from Noah. Low, and it's a 4-pitch walk. First free pass allowed by Noah today, and the tying run is on for Spring Arbor with 1 out in inning number 4.
Coming to the plate, number 5, Jade Now.
And the batter is the third baseman, Jade Now. Up and away from Noah. 5th pitch out of the zone from the freshman right-hander. Now 1 for 1, singled over the jumping Evans try at third. That was back in the second. Noah misses away, and that's now 6 pitches out of the zone. It's 2-0. 1 out on the board after the nice looking strikeout to Gillett. But she's got Matlock at first and now at the plate, and the Taylor lead is just 1. Low at the knees, inside corner for a called strike 1. 2-1 count here to Now, who's got a home run and 11 runs driven in this season. Fourth one, low for ball 3. Open stance for the righty Jade Now, senior out of Ontario, Canada. Inside, she spins away, but it clips the corner for strike 2. Full count to the third baseman, Jade Now, with Matlock at first and Spring Arbor down in the game 2-1 here in the top of the 4th. Full count pitch, rolled her left side, and it goes off the end of the bat and dribbles foul. Another payoff pitch here from Noah. Inside, and she spun away, and it got called for strike 3. Second looking strikeout for Noah here in the 4th. She used the same exact pitch twice for strikes 2 and 3 to Now. 2 outs on the board for Elena Walker.
Elena Walker.
Oh for 1 is Walker. Grooves it to Rastetter in center. It drops right in front of her, a step earlier than I think she thought it was going to drop. A good read on it for Rastetter, but a smack single to center. Now puts the tying and go-ahead runs on for SAU, and Kelsey Sturgeon, the first baseman.
Number 22, Kelsey Sturgeon, second spot.
Great read from Rastetter, but that one dropped in front of her, right at about her feet. A strike on the first one here to Sturgeon. And a tip of your cap as well for Rastetter to keep that one in front of her, not let it on the low bounce as she was charged into it for it to bounce away from her. 0 for 1 day for Sturgeon. And Noah paints the inside corner. 0-2. Connor Crawford of the baseball team sits down. He agrees with the strike 2 call down in row 1. 2 on. SAU down by 1 in the 4th. Off the end of the bat. Slow roller to Clay at second. She waits for it. Underhands to first. And Tannehill's there for out number 3. So the Trojans avoid disaster at the top of the 4th with the tying and go-ahead runs on for SAU. We're halfway home here from Game 2 at Guda Field to the bottom of the 4th next. Taylor out front 2-1 on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Bottom of the fourth, Taylor works around a 2-on, 1-out jam with their lead at 1, and Jersey Tannehill, their first baseman, leads it off. Emily Hamp drills in a strike, and we're underway here in the bottom of the fourth. Tannehill, Clay, and Rasted are coming up for the Trojans here, leading 2-1. And a much closer game than what we saw in game number 1, where Taylor jumped out to a 3-0 lead after 2, 7-0 after 5, and had a chance to run rule it in the bottom of the 5th. And they won by a final of 7-2. Back-to-back pitches out of the zone here to Tannehill. It's 2-1. Jersey grounded out to Jade now at third for the first out in the second inning. The 2-1. Hard hit, opposite way. Good piece of hitting from Tannehill, her first hit here of game 2. And the Trojans had the leadoff batter on for the third time today.
Coming to the plate, number
2-1, the Taylor lead here in the fourth for Alexi Clay. And Nicole Brindle looks to be coming in here for Tannehill at first. So Brindle runs for Tannehill at first base. As Tannehill is greeted by joyous applause back to the Taylor dugout, rightfully so. The extended play version of the Whitney Houston song that Alexi Clay walks up to because of the pinch runner coming in.
Pinch running at first, number 34, Nicole Brindle.
Clay shows bunt, an excellent bunter, first base side, Sturgeon Fields. Covering is the second baseman, Walker. And the sacrifice works. It moves the speedy Brindle up to second base, 1 out. But the insurance run in scoring position here for the Trojans and Aaliyah Rastetter.
Coming to the plate, number 16, Aaliyah Rastetter.
Rastetter 0 for 1 today with a swinging strikeout. Taylor out front 2-1, bottom of the fourth. Rastetter blasted opposite way. Matlock gives chase. She's not going to get to it. Brindle scores with ease. Here's Rastetter to second. She hits the brakes with an RBI double. 3-1 Taylor here with 1 gone in the fourth. Fourth double of the year for Rastetter, her 11th RBI, as she tries to duplicate her monster back half of the season from a year ago here in 2022.
Now batting for the Trojans, number 29, Mackenzie Noah.
First extra base knock for the Trojans today, and now it's Mackenzie Noah who will try to help out her own cause, the starting pitcher today. Noah 172 average when the day began. Hit into a fielder's choice, then into the second. First pitch, wanted opposite way. It sails out of here, foul. Three to 1, the Taylor lead, bottom of the fourth. A strike to Noah, and this one low for ball 1. Changeup that drops in short. Noah, 5'8" freshman from Allen Park, Michigan. Third one, turns on it, line driver right to Sturgeon at first. Rastetter scoots back in underneath, and then the throw gets away at second base. Navziger, the left fielder, there to back it up. A liner from Noah that almost took the glove off of Sturgeon's hand. Snags it clean, and there's 2 outs. The lineup turns over to Emma West at the top. Two outs for West, who is yet to be retired here today. In game 2, rolls it over the right side to Walker at second. That'll be the first time West has been retired in game 2. But the Trojans had to run their total thanks to an RBI double from Aaliyah Rastetter. We're through 4 at Gudekunst Field as Taylor goes for the doubleheader sweep here against SAU.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Top of the fifth, Mackenzie Noah low and away from the shortstop, Maddie Thrush. Thrush is the only run producer here in game two for SAU. Big cut from the shortstop. She comes up empty, and it's 1-1. Remember, she had the solo home run to lead off the third. The Trojans got an insurance run in the bottom of the fourth, and their lead is up to 2. Roller left side. Evans can't get to it. Back can't stop West from deep in the hole at short. She throws off of her back foot. They will not get Thrush, the SAU shortstop, out. She's 2 for 2 here with an infield single. But things have gotten considerably darker with the clouds overhead as the raindrops might be making their way a little bit closer than what we thought. Strike one here. To the left fielder, Gabby Navsdigger, whose backup play of a throw that got underneath things at second base, kept more runs off the board for Taylor in the bottom of the fourth. The lefty Navsdigger, bouncer right side. Clay has to wait on it, underhand to second to get the lead runner there. No! Just beating the throw, and almost stepping off the bag was Thrush. Clay had to wait for that one to bounce towards her, and the slow bouncer allowed the speedy Thrush to get in underneath on the throw, beating it by a hair. So the fielder's choice has now got 2 on here for SAU, and the lineup turns over to Chloe Geniak, the center fielder. Tying runners on for SAU here in the fifth. Screwball low and away from Noah. As Geniak shows bunt, Maddie Evans comes in maybe 10 feet or so, almost directly parallel with the pitcher circle. Now backs up a considerable amount on the third base line. Nobody out. Geniak shows bunt. Third base side, punched foul, 1-1. Two on have rejuvenated the SAU dugout on the first base side. Geniak swings away, bouncer to Noah, snags, has to wait to try for Evans to get to third, and Noah waited too long. Tried to get the lead runner at third, was unsuccessful as Evans, who was playing in anticipating the bunt from Geniak, had to run back to third. She couldn't get there in time, and the bases are loaded up here in the circle for SAU, down by just a deuce here in the fifth.
Second into the box, number 17, Emily Hamp.
So Taylor unsuccessful twice trying to get Thrush out on the bases, first at second and now third. And the pitcher, Emily Hamp, ground ball right side to West. She comes home for the force. They get the lead runner there, and finally, Taylor able to get Thrush out on their third attempt. And it keeps Taylor ahead by 2, but the bases remain loaded here with 1 out for SAU. That's the third straight fielder's choice for the Cougars.
Oh, Spring Arbor, number 27, Maddie Gill.
Batter is Maddie Gillett, the DP. Bases full of Cougars. They trail by 2. Outside corner, good pitch from Noah for a strike. 0 for 2 day for Gillett, a ground out and a strikeout looking. No with the sunglasses on this cloudy Tuesday afternoon. A strike to Gillett. A ball just in, 1-1. Third one to Gillett. Off the end of the bat, it goes foul, 1-2. Breaking ball there from Noah that able to keep it away from the barrel of Gillett. The best batter for SAU this season. Entered the day with a .417 average for the Cougars. Down on the count, 1-2, the base is full. Pitch from Noah, left side. Evans steps on third, tries to turn two across the diamond. Tannehill scoops it, and a 5-3 double play keeps another 0 on the board here for SAU. We head to the bottom of the fifth. Taylor's 2-run lead still intact.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Third baseman Matty Evans will lead off the bottom of the fifth for the Trojans. Their lead is at 2, 3-1. Remember, this SAU team had a chance to take a game off of number 9 Iwu yesterday. Had the game tied heading to the bottom of the seventh, and the Wildcats needed some heroics in the last frame of the day. 2-0 here to Evans against the pitcher Emily Hamp. Whitman and Grimm to follow. 2, 3, and 4 up for Taylor here in this bottom of the fifth inning. Leading 3-1. Single runs 3 times today. Upstairs and on the hands, Evans leans back. It's 3-0.
3-ball, no strike.
A 1-for-1 day for Evans with a single and the sacrifice bunt in inning 3. Fourth one clips the inside corner. Evans takes the whole way for a strike. 5 hits, 1 for extra bases today for the Trojans. 4 hits for SAU, also 1 for extra bases. Fifth one, breaking ball across the letters from the middle to the outside half, makes the count full at 3-2. Evans leads off this bottom of the fifth inning for the Taylor Trojans, who lead 3-1. Payoff from Hamp, and Evans stays alive, getting the end of the bat on the pitch. Taylor dugout comes to full throat. Payoff again. Evans grooves it to center field. It drops right in front of Chloe Geniak. Looked like it might have a chance for Geniak to make a play on it, but a single for Evans, her second one of the day. She's 2 for 2. And for the 4th time in this second game, the Trojans had the leadoff runner on. Or batter, excuse me. That brings up Ashton Whitman. First pitch, screams it foul to the left. That thing got out of here quick. A strike here to Whitman with Evans at first. Change up inside, 0-2. A fly out and an RBI single are Whitman's 2 trips to the plate today. The 0-2. Hamp quickly works. Opposite batter's box. Whitman with a good eye there. It's 1-2. Good eye from Whitman as that one sails in high. The previous 3 times that Taylor got the leadoff runner on, they scored, and that runner came around to score. It was West in the first and the third. Nicole Brindle, who ran for Tannehill in the last inning in the fourth. Can the Trojans make it 4 for 4 when the leadoff batter gets on? Whitman sits on a changeup that almost got her at the knees, but the bottom fell out of it too soon from Hamp, and the count sits at 3-2. Payoff pitch from Hamp. Ripped to the left side. Scooting back is Thrush, the shortstop, to get the lead runner. Whitman legs it out and beats the throw to first. There's 1 out for Taylor here in the bottom of the 5th, but they still keep a runner on.
Coming up to bat, number 14, Caitlin Grimm.
Hard hit ball from Whitman that almost backed Rush back onto her heels. She was able to make the stab. And now here's Caitlin Grimm, who's really starting to find her groove here in the last couple of games. RBI single in game 1, had 2 singles in the first one. Ball 1 here on the first pitch. Sack fly and a walk here in game 2. Low and away to the lefty, 2-0. As the cloud cover starts to intensify here at Goodecoons Field. 2-0. Swing and a miss. As the Dogs must not like the cloud cover as well. It's 2-1. The 2-1. Grimm opposite way, but too far to the left, foul. Clay pulled a 2-run home run around the left field foul pole in game 1. Grimm trying to go the same way here with her lefty bat. Count evens at 2-2 to the right fielder. Slow roller back up Hamp Fields. Tried to get Whitman out to second. They do. They will not be able to turn to. Another slow roller that handcuffed Hamp. Had to wait for it to come to her. Wanted to get the lead runner out. Whitman able to get in there safe, or not get in there safely. Grimm safe at first. 2 outs on the board, and it looks like a pinch runner is about to enter here for the Trojans. It'll be number 25, Maddie Schultz, coming in to run for Grimm at first.
Number 25, Maddie Schultz, running at first. Stepping up to the plate, number 10, Morgan Back.
Batters the DP, Morgan Back. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Outside corner, called for a strike to the lefty back. Morgan 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs here today. Hard hit ball, but a late swing that ricochets off the fencing up the left side of the park. Two strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. For the freshman Morgan Back here in the bottom of the 5th with Taylor's lead at 2. The runner is Maddie Schultz at first, off the end of the bat. On the ground to Thrush at short, across to first, and they get back out. As Taylor retired here in the bottom of the 5th. We're on to the 6th. Taylor still leads 3-1 on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Sarah Matlock, the right fielder, leads off the 6th. A low one from Noah for ball 1. We've gotten updates from the weather department here on the Trojan Sports Network. Rain is circling us here in Upland, Indiana. High bouncer sends West retreating all the way to the back edge of the infield. An infield knock for Matlock, her first hit of the afternoon. Brings the tying run to the plate here in the form of Jade Now.
Coming to the plate, number 5, Jade Now.
A huge bouncing hit. That's the second or third time we've seen West have to range all the way back to the very edge of the infield on the left side here today. Now, bunt shown high for a ball. 1 for 2 day for the third baseman now with a single and a looking strikeout. SAU down by 2 in the top of the 6th. Change up from Noah, misses high, it's 2-0. Slightly open stance for number 5 in highlighter yellow, Jade Now. Well struck ball, Rastetter races in, makes the catch above her head for the first out in the 6th. Now work that ball to the right center field gap, and Rastetter showed off her range. Remember, she was the left fielder a year ago, shifted over to center as she flip-flop spots with Lexia Abruzzo, who now patrols left field. 1 out, 1 on for the second baseman, Elena Walker. A strike on the outside corner here to start. Walker's played a really strong second base here in game 2 for SAU. 0-1 from Noah. Off the end of the bat, now 0-2. One run for SAU, the solo home run by Maddie Thrush in the 3rd. Taylor answered with 1 right back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They added 1 more and lead 3-1. 1 hopper to West at short. Underhands to Clay at second, on to first, not in time. But the Trojans get the lead runner out at second, and there are 2 outs on the board here in the 6th for SAU as they trail 3-1.
Coming to the plate, number 23, Kelsey Sturgeon.
That's the 4th fielder's choice that SAU has hit into in the last inning and change. Strike 1 to start here for the first baseman, Kelsey Sturgeon. 0 for 2 day for the first baseman, who was the starting pitcher in game number 1. Screwball low and in, 2 low and 2 in, 1-1. Five hits on the day for SAU. Roll over left side to Evans at third. She fields and fires. A missile that Tannehill snags off of her right knee, and we head to the bottom of the 6th with Taylor's lead still intact at 3-1.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Jersey Tannehill.
Bottom of the 6th, Taylor tries to add to their 3-1 lead with 6, 7, and 8 coming up. Tannehill, Clay, and Rastetter. Clouds continue to potentially bringing raindrops in. First one high from Hamp as Tannehill leads off an inning for the 3rd time today. She grounded out in the 2nd and then singled in the 4th. Brindle came in to run for her, then came around to score. Tannehill lifts it into the end of the Taylor dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike for the Taylor first baseman, Jersey Tannehill, out of Martinsville, Indiana. Third one. Tannehill watches the changeup, drop on the outside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on a called strike 2. Hamp readies and fires. In on the hands, a rise ball fools Tannehill. Strikes out for the first time today. Second K for Hamp, but there's 1 out for the Trojans in the 6th as they lead by 2.
Let's go, AC unit!
1 out, no one on for Alexi Clay, the Taylor second baseman. First one upstairs, 1-0. Second pitch, good location from Hamp at the knees on the outside half for a called strike 1 to even the count. Clay 0 for 1. Beautiful changeup that just misses the top of the zone by a hair. The SAU infield shocked. That's ball 2 instead of strike 2. Clay reached on the error in the second. Laid a sac bunt down in the 4th. Swings and gets a foul tip held on to by Funk, and the count squares at 2. Rastetter on deck. 2-2 with 1 out. Clay sits on a changeup and stays alive, fouling it to the right. Two again. Chases one up high, and that's another rise ball strikeout for Hamp. Back-to-back strikeouts on the rise ball. First Tannehill and now Clay. 2 outs, nobody on for the center fielder, Aaliyah Rastetter, with the Trojans ahead by a deuce. Inside pitch, ball 1. 1 for 2 day here for Rastetter in game 2. An RBI double that scored the Taylor's 3rd run in the 4th frame. 3rd run of the game, that was in the 4th frame. With Rastetter, a couple of RBI knocks in the doubleheader today. 1 for 3 in the opener with a run scored. 1 for 2 here in the nightcap. Beautiful changeup dealt in by Hamp. Froze Rastetter for strike 1. Mackenzie Noah cheers on Rastetter from the on-deck circle. 4th one, Rastetter rolled over left side off the end of the glove of now. Off to thrust. You won't be able to get thrust. You won't be able to get it off in time, and that's an error on Jade now as it just snuck underneath the bottom of her glove. She just couldn't get it down there enough for that tall third baseman, and the Trojans with some 2-out life here. Pitch number 100 will be the first one to the pitcher, Mackenzie Noah. She swings through on a big cut, and it's strike 1. Bottom of the 6th, Taylor leads 3-1. With Rastetter at first after the second error of the day by the SAU defense. Change up, and now Noah's down 0-2. Righty versus righty, Hamp rocks and fires. 0-2, Noah opposite way, but foul. Noah bats out of the number 9 spot here in game 2. Did not bat in game 1. The 0-2 again. Change up right down Main Street. Got her looking, and all 3 outs here in this 6th frame via the strikeout for Hamp. We head to the top of the 7th. SAU trying to find some runs. They're down 3-1. They're down to their last 3 outs here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage.
The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. Maddie Thrush, the shortstop, leads off the top of the 7th for Spring Arbor as they trail 3-1 to Taylor, trying to avoid their second straight doubleheader sweep here in Grant County after falling in 2 games to number 9 Indiana Wesleyan yesterday. Ball 1 to start with Thrush. The pinch hitter and Marissa Morgan in the top of the SAU order. 8-9-1 up for the Cougars here in the 7th. 2-0 here to Thrush, who's 2 for 2 today. Has almost half of SAU's 5 hits with the solo home run in the 3rd and a single in the 5th. 3rd one from Noah, end of the bat. It will just roll up the line. It's a fair ball, and it's fielded by Tannehill, and Thrush could do nothing except run right into the tag of Tannehill. That thing just danced and danced and danced and never went left or right. Just stayed right down the middle on the chalk line. And there was 1 out here in the 7th for SAU. Marissa Morgan, the pinch hitter, steps in. She came in as the first baseman after Jesse Pancho was hurt in game number 1. First pitch is a ball, second one is a foul ball, so it's 1-1. Here to Marissa Morgan, who entered the day with a 1 for 11 hit and at-bat duo at the plate. 3rd one, low bouncer, unable to scoop it as Evans. West at second, or short to back it up. And a runner is on here for Spring Arbor. E5 on the missed ground ball by Evans at 3rd. And the pinch runner enters for SAU at first base as Gabby Navziger re-enters and will run at first here for Marissa Morgan.
Number 22, Gabby Navziger, running at first. Stepping into the box, number 7, Chloe Geniak.
And out of the top of the order, and the slap hitting Chloe Geniak. Geniak 0 for 3, reached on the fielder's choice in the 5th. Noah comes across with a called strike. Geniak lined out on the nice play by West at short, grounded out to Tannehill at first. Then reached on the fielder's choice in the 5th. Pulls it right side. It will not stay fair. That one just took the right-hand turn as Tannehill scooped it up. Strike 2 to the slap-hitting Geniak. 1 out, top of the 7th, as the wind shifts and blows out to left field. 0-2 to the lefty Geniak. Pop up to center field. Rastetter there, perfect position as she jogs to her left. Out number 2 in the 7th, and SAU's down to their last out.
Stepping to the plate, number 7,
And the pitcher will be Emily Ham. The batter, the pitcher, steps in. 0 for 3 day for the lefty. She is the tying run at the plate with SAU trailing 3-1. Bouncer up the middle. Clay's there at second, gets the force out at the bag, and West, and that is out number 3. And the Trojans get pushed to the limit here in the second game of our doubleheader. They win game 2 by a final of 3-1. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for SAU, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Trojans. Mackenzie Noah gets the win. She's now 7-7 on the year. Emily Hamp takes the loss. She falls to 500 at 6-6. We do want to mention before we sign off, before this rain gets in here, we do want to send our best wishes to both Jesse Pancho and Abby Lafler. They both suffered a little bit of some injuries in that first game. We hope the best for them as their season rolls on for both Lafler and Pancho. With the win, Taylor moves to 15-12 on the year, 12-4 in the Crossroads League. They're now 10-4 here at Goodecoons Field. Spring Arbor falls to 10-17 overall, 4-12 in the league, and they are now 1-9 on the road. Taylor back here at home this Saturday against number 9 Indiana Wesleyan with a 1 o'clock start time. Make sure to stay tuned to TaylorTrojans.com for all your up-to-date information on Taylor schedule changes, times, updates, new games, new venues, old venues, all that good stuff. Special thanks to Bryn Butchkowski for our on-site producer today, even though she had to leave to go to class today. That's good. She's getting her studies in. That's good. We're not paying her to work here. We're paying her to go to class. I think so, something like that. She enjoyed. Bryn, you enjoyed class today? Yeah. That's good. Well, Bryn enjoyed class. That's fine. And Taylor made sure all the excitement happened when she got back here, so that's good. Taylor back here Saturday. Again, our executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network, even though he's coaching golf right now in Georgia, is Cameron Andrew. Taylor improves to 15-12 on the year, 12-4 in the Crossroads League. We'll talk to you on Saturday before Taylor Indiana Wesleyan for the second time this season. This has been a presentation of Taylor Softball on the Trojan Sports Network. Good night.